Welcome, classic rock fans, to an episode of Albums You Should Check Out. This is where I go through some records I've been fortunate enough to have been sent and had the pleasure of listening to the other day. I've whittled it down to at least 5, which I definitely think you should give a listen to. And the first one is Moon Letters and Thank You From the Future. This is a fabulous album, lots of great vocal textures and jittery explorations of tempo and dramatic range. The opening track, Sudden Sun, I love the guitar tones on this. They've got some solo licks in here which remind me so much of Jethro Tull's Passion Play, around about Tull's 73. Quite a few sort of sticks sounding textures, really the combination of vocal choruses and keyboards, which I rather like as well. Interestingly, the Progressive Aspect website describes this as a fascinating amalgam of retro prog and rock and roll influence with symphonic jazz, blues and psychedelic echoes, but all mixed together in quite a unique and modern style, constantly changing musical themes, time signatures, tempo and mood. Managed to get all that out. I would fully concur with that. I think it's a really astonishing album to listen to. I really enjoyed this. I mean, the sheer oddness of it at times and quirkiness harkens back to sort of Gentle Giant and King Crimson. I don't know if that's what they're aiming for, but it has its constant shift in time signatures and tempos makes it feel very busy. I think it would be quite a challenge for the non-prog fan, to be honest with you. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not that dense, it's not Porn Hearts or anything like that, but nevertheless it is quite an intriguing listen, shall we say, and I would highly recommend it. I will put the link, the purchasing link, or these bands' websites below this video for you to check these out. Next one is this guy, Tony, I don't know how you pronounce his name, is it Coltre or Colteri? I'm not sure how it is. I tried to go to his videos to see if he introduces himself, but he introduces himself as Uncle Tony. This is an instrumental album that beautifully explores the tension and relationships between the various instruments employed. Beautifully atmospheric, almost Eno-esque in places, I have to say. I love the stabbing grandeur of the opening with the impressive keyboard sound before it gets wonderfully heavy on us. Great guitar work on this. I mean, if you watch his videos, that's pretty evident. The second track is a heavy bludgeoning quality to it before it gets rather gorgeous on us. It's all rich in contrasts and musical twists and turns. Anyone interested in the complexity and variety of prog bands, or people like Mike Oldfield, I think would probably really enjoy this. His First Betrayal, which is a great one, that's the third track in, I believe I got the right one. The opening of it is very Floydish, sort of circa 1987. This album tends to poke and prod at the prog landscape over the last 50 years. Give this one a go. The next one is this one, Frozen Factory is the name of the band, and the album is of Pearls and Perils. Love the band name, love the artwork, it's fantastic, and who doesn't like a little bit of alliteration in their title? That's a picture of the band if you open it up. And the siren at the start sets the hairs up on the back of their neck and sets the tone for the album, really, which is kind of a cautionary tale. Not really a cautionary tale, as it hasn't happened. It's a warning, shall we say, a warning of what is to come unless we mend our ways. If we look at this wonderful artwork, we've got this ship with somebody overlooking everything they can survey, and the ship itself is crumbling away and disintegrating. And of course on the back you've got a human skull resting in the ocean floor like the Ozymandias statue in the desert. I don't really think this metaphor needs unpacking, does it? Anyway, I mean, the vocals on this, my God, who is the singer? No, I can actually tell you who the singer is. The singer is Stephen Baker. Wonderful voice. On this enigmatic and atmospheric album, one can detect a whole range of influences from Floyd, Depeche Mode, Alice in Chains, Maiden, System of a Down, lots of things going on here. All this convergence of influences which can be felt in these numbers. This band hail from Finland. I wonder if they know the von Herzen brothers. Interesting, the eclectic music lover says of this album that they create moody, complex, melodic alternative rock with strong undercurrents of progressive, grunge, symphonic, metal and dream rock. And the lyrics are biting and provide an interesting commentary on the ills facing the world and the planet, and humanity, of course. Baker's powerful, rich and resonant vocals do justice to this message. In fact, Solar Windfalls is perhaps my favourite track on this album. It's absolutely just perfect. If I may quote the singer himself, who said, I really cannot comprehend why we're so careless with our home planet and the living communities that depend on it. I'm sad when I see regular people fighting with other regular people. I feel like we've become so easy to influence, so easy to deceive, so easy to distract with trivial differences. Anyway, that's Frozen Factory, and the album is Of Pearls and Perils. This one I cannot sing enough praises for. This is absolutely fabulous. Pre-Incarnation is the name of the band. Love the name as well. We're all harking back to our past lives or incarnations. And the album is called Incarnation One, which is intriguing straight away, isn't it? Because we think, well, what is the story behind this? Is there going to be an Incarnation 2? Maybe the band will wax lyrical more on this. Maybe I'll get them to do an interview for my channel and they can unpack this marvellous album for me. I really enjoy it. I get the feeling that there's a story there which I didn't quite latch on to, probably because I just listened to it once yesterday in order to record a response to. But I really love this. As I said, German band, I think I've said that. Great Dio-esque vocals as well. Strong vocal presence on this. This progressive metal offering. I don't know if I can call it progressive metal. It's more prog than metal, I think, but there's certainly some metallic crunch to it. This band described themselves as a one-of-a-kind band that who developed a distinctive sound inspired by the best modern progressive music. This is an enjoyable listen. The virtuosity and musicianship is superb. If you're fans of progressive metal or even prog with a grittier feel to it, I think you'll enjoy this. And it is quite a dark album, dark artwork and dark feel to it, almost Wagnerian, and I'm not saying that just because they're German. It does have the music and the concept, which I failed to pick out for you, has an almost Wagnerian broad sweep to it. But as well as the broad strokes, there is some great intimate instrumental passages on here as well. Wonderful anthemic numbers and obscenely catchy as well. Do give this one a go. And they've even sent me some postcards, which was very nice of them. I actually have a friend of mine who does a does a program on a radio station talking about progressive rock, essentially. I meet him every now and again. I'm going to give him one of these postcards and suggest that he checks out this band and perhaps features them on his program. And the next one, I've got to feature this band as making amends. Huge slice of humble pie, if you like. And that's this band, Dirty Sound Magnet. Dirty Sound Magnet, because when I talked about their last album on the last episode of this, I called them Death Sound Magnet. Metallica on the brain, I guess. But I'm glad that I was prompted to look at this album, because I think I actually prefer it to the one that I did before. The last one has a bluesy feel to it in some respects. This feels much more quirky and psychedelic. The opening track reminds me of Talking Heads. It has a jittery and nervous vibe to it. Skull Drawing Rose is an interesting one. I wonder if it's I don't know for sure, of course, but I do wonder if it's a reference to the Grateful Dead. They certainly with the artwork, they seem to be leaning in that general direction. But this band sound refreshing. I mean, it's hard to cite many groups that are anything like this. I suppose if I had to kind of paint a picture for you, be it a rather garish orange and purpley picture for you, it'd be a kind of a mix of early Syd Barrett, with a bit of the Incredible String Band thrown in for good measure, and Kevin Ayers perhaps. All that soup would come close to representing the kind of sound this band makes. And it's all delivered in a very modern, punky and zany snarl. Anyway, I really enjoyed this band. They are quirky and refreshingly good. That's Dirty Sound Magnet, and this is, I don't know which album where this comes in their discography, but this is called Transgenic. Other than that, I hope you'll stay warm, staying healthy, and more importantly that you keep listening.